The other question I got for you, at Washington High School, when you first met Jimel, if he was a nobody, if he was nothing then, why did you feel you needed to go holler at Tookie?
Well, what had happened is the circumstances that had arise, which brought that out, was flexing. I said, "Do you think you could flex on Mouse?" And he says, "Well, I don't know Mouse." I says, "Well, that's my brother." He says, "I heard of him." I said, "Do you think you can flex on Big Tookie?" He says, "I don't know." I said, "Well, pill out on me. I just came from camp. I'm fresh out of camp. It's 74. I said, pill out on me. I'm fresh out of camp, so I got about some, I don't know, maybe some 17s, but I'm feeling a lot bigger because of my ego. And I want to be the biggest dude at the school, you know. And so Vance comes up to me. He says, "Hey, Q, there's this brother. He's over there, you know, and he's not talking to nobody. He's mainly isolated." And so I said, "Okay, show me who he is. I need to know what set he's from. I don't want no sleeper in my school because Washington was predominantly a Crips school, and we didn't allow no sleepers. It was like one of the, you know, you could just say nothing's 100%, but it wasn't nobody else showing their colors or claiming another set. It was blue school. So I wanted to know where this dude was from, you know, the way he was carrying on. And then, I approached him, you know, and I approached him. You know, one thing led to another. I told him to peel out. Peel out means flex. So he peeled out and he flexed on me. And I was a little, you know, upset about it because I didn't know he was a year or two older than me. I'm thinking he's around my age. I got this motherfucker be so buffed, you know, at this age. But I thought it was all coat. That motherfucker wear a big coat. You think he ain't got no yokes. You didn't see that. Some people got on all these layers of clothes, and then when they do peel out, say, "Oh, man, I thought you was buff, man. You got on all these clothes, man. You ain't got no yokes, man." You know, so that's how it happened. And Took, he had the rep of being the buffest dude on the west side. And we ain't going to go up there to beat Jimel up. He's just going up there to flex on him. It was going to be, you know, a flex out. But Jimel was scared to peel out. So that's why when Took walked back to me, he said, "Hey, cute, you coming with me?" He don't want to peel out. So that means he flex on me, but he don't want to flex on Took. You know, I would have brought Mouse up there. Mouse would have flexed on him because Mouse was ripped. Mouse had six-pack. Mouse had more cut.
So that gives a clear understanding of what was going on in that little situation, because a lot of people thought you was going to get Tookie to fight Jimel.
No, we was gonna. If I was gonna fight Jimel, I would have fought Jimel. If Jimel would have said he was from another set outside of the sets that were permitted to go to that school, it would have been a whole different day. I'd be telling you a whole different story right now.
Gotcha. All the time you did in prison, did you run across LaLa from 6 Duce East Coast?
Oh, yeah. I remember when, it's funny, you know, how the youth authority, you know, down kids from their experience in the youth authority, when they get out of the youth authority, you know, including myself, you get involved in more of the same. So I met LaLa, you know, in Old Folsom in the 80s. And he was a good little brother, man. He used to be with me every day. And when the brothers started coming in there, like Little Eddie Boy, Teaspoon, Joker from ETG. It was these Big D from ETG, K-Dog from Rolling 60s. When these little brothers would come in there, I would embrace these brothers. And LaLa was in the East Coasts. When little Hoovers would come in there, I would embrace them. It's like, you know, I'm going to give these guys a sense of foundation so they don't feel like they just stepped off into the wilderness. You know, so I would sit and talk to them, and we'd be on the yard. I lift weights with them, and, you know, I give them a rundown of the place, you know, and, you know, what to do's and what not to do's. And they enjoyed me because I wasn't a part of the paperwork world. And they loved that. They said, "Damn, my G's in here, he's going against the status quo. We're going to roll with him."
Did you run across Cutes in prison?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, me and Cutes, me and Gilbert, we formed a tight relationship in prison. He was actually one of the individuals that was in my ear when I got to Tracy in like 1983, telling me that I needed to pull back on some of my behavior because there were some things that I was unaware of in prison, and a lot of individuals weren't who they professed or pretended to be.
Meaning some guys wasn't down with the bullshit when it was time to go
Now,
down?
just some individuals look like, they were beasts. Like any incident, anything that they would encounter, they would lace up and get active. Right. But it was more to convey a perception than an actual ability or desire to participate.
So, and I told them, I said, if y'all roll with me, it's going to be a tough road ahead. And they embraced that. And so when Big D went home from ETG, he was like, he didn't want to leave me. He was like, man, I don't want to. I had Chew. I had Big Chew. I had his brother Rainbow from 5 Duce. I had some 40s. I had Big Earthquake. I had Big Herc from West Boulevard. I had Tony T from West Boulevard. I had guys who had started these sets, and they were down with me, man. I was down with them.
What kind of guy was LaLa?
LaLa struck me as the type of a guy who wanted to represent his neighborhood. He didn't want to be a part of some other thing that someone else started. So LaLa embraced his neighborhood, and when his little homies would come in, now he's the G, he would embrace them the way that I embraced him. He would impart knowledge on them. Unfortunately, LaLa is still incarcerated, and he's doing positive things. He's still down, though.
Did you get a chance to read his book?
Not yet.
Okay.
I haven't got a chance. Haven't got a chance to read his book yet. But I'm proud of him. I'm proud that he's abstracting in there, and he's thinking and he's using his mind, and that makes me feel good. He's a good brother, man.
When Quake left, LaLa was the spinoff of Quake. Big LaLa was the spinoff of Quake. I went to camp in '79 because prior to coming over there, I still was doing a little dumb shit. Before meeting them, stealing. I had probation, a little dumbass shit, and finally got caught after another burglary. I went to Camp Kilpatrick. But LaLa and them was still, they was, they changed it. When we lived there, they didn't know what happened, man. They hit so hard right there, they didn't even know.
Well, Cutes, man, I want to thank you for coming today.
For sure.
You, Cat Caesar, Pretty Boy, today was a good day, man, and you always welcome on my platform.
Thanks.
I wish you could go to Arizona with us tomorrow, but real life situations, I understand your position, and I appreciate you for being here, man.
Thanks, Brother Kev. For sure.